Well, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. It's game day morning. It's about 3 hours until kickoff. I'm actually picking up David Wiley. David's taking care of cooking this morning for us. We got a few people that'll be coming over to the man cave to watch the games. Of course, most people won't be coming over till late. It's going to be a long day. I'm going to make sure I have plenty of coffee in me because we'll be live streaming from 12:45 through the Dallas Cowboys game. It's going to be a long day. But you know what? I look forward to this. Oh my God, I look forward to it. And I was sitting here thinking about how there's always the perception of the Dallas Cowboys that everything that they do is wrong, or they will treat the Cowboys in the media differently than they will other teams. And, most people will say, you know what, just stop whining, man. It's no different. They treat the Cowboys the same as everybody else. And that's not the case. The funny thing is this. From the time that Zeke Elliott signed his contract, everybody talked about him being overpaid, right? Zeke Elliott, you don't pay a running back that kind of money and everything. And I'm okay if that is your perception on what you should do about a running back. That's not a right or wrong thing. That is, of course, a judgment call for an individual. The only thing that I ask is that you be consistent beyond just Cowboy players. Now, last year was a terrible year for Zeke Elliott for a multitude of reasons. He had COVID. And the car literally lost its tire. Had COVID, right? Which probably slowed him down. Lost the franchise quarterback, Dak Prescott. The offensive line was in shambles. I believe we had more different combination of offensive lines than anybody else. And you look at that and say, yeah, you're not going to have a great season. And even with that, he still almost got 1,000 yards. But of course, everybody's saying he's not the same guy. He'll never be that guy again. He'll never do great again. The Cowboys shouldn't have paid him. Okay. If that's the take on Zeke Elliott, and now this year you look at it and say, well, he's been doing pretty good. He's on pace for, about 1,500 yards. And that's not solely because of Zeke. It's also because the offensive line is playing great. The offensive line's playing great. He's had Dak Prescott back. They're clicking on all cylinders. The defense is giving them more opportunities. They're winning games or getting blowouts where you're going to run the ball more in the second half. So all these things are factors in him being better this year. I'm not going to dispute that. So my question is, why haven't we heard that stuff about Christian McCaffrey? Because since Christian McCaffrey signed his deal, he played 3 games last year for 225 yards. Got injured. But even before he was injured, he averaged 3.8 yards a carry, a full yard short of his career average, right? He got paid. Then you're looking at this year. It's out again. This year, he's played in 3 games. He's got 201 yards and is averaging, I think, 3.9 yards a carry. Clearly, not getting paid, not worth the money that he was paid. So my thing is, if you were saying that Zeke Elliott, the Cowboys should have never paid Zeke Elliott, who has not missed a game due to injury in his career, a guy who they trashed, they said, the first week because he didn't get any yards, even though nobody gets yards against Tampa Bay on the ground. He blocked his ass off and literally saved Dak Prescott's life. how come we don't hear anything about Christian McCaffrey? Nobody says that Christian McCaffrey is overpaid. Nobody says this guy is going downhill. Because even the year that he signed the contract, his yard per carry average had gone down from the previous year. So now you're looking at 3 years of decline and injury-plagued seasons. Now tell me again that the things are equal when it comes to the Cowboys versus everybody else. Let's be real here. They're not. It's the same case of when they came up with dink and dunk for Dak. Dinking and dunking, dinking and dunking. Dak Prescott, he can't push the ball down the field. He's a dink and dunker. I ask you, what other player, because clearly not everybody's throwing for, 8 yards per pass. I ask you, what other player have they labeled, or should I say libeled, with a dink and dunker? Nobody. Then, we've now labeled the Cowboys, or they labeled Dak Prescott as Mr. Garbage Time Yardage. He got all them yards in garbage time. Okay. Have you heard them use that terminology on anybody else? Anybody. Because I don't recall them going after anybody else and saying that it's garbage time. And clearly, there's a lot of teams that are getting blown out. Now, as far as going through with the Vikings game today, it's interesting because you look at this matchup and you think about how the Cowboys interact, and there's perception and then there's reality. Statistics can be manipulated, but you have to look at statistics in the situation. For example, the Dallas Cowboys, if you look at it, they say the Cowboys give up a lot of points. That, scoring defense, that, there's a lot out there. And part of that is a problem because the offense, it's a give and take. Because the offense has been scoring so many points. And in some of these games, the games are out of reach. For example, against the Giants. That's when Daniel Jones is playing in garbage time. The Dallas Cowboys, or as most teams when they've got a big lead, they're going to keep everything in front of them. Nothing deep, nothing cheap. They're going to make sure that we don't give up the real big play. We're going to let you have the stuff underneath. And what you'll see is they're just kind of giving. They're trying to let them run out the clock. They're trying to let them just kind of kill the game and try to keep guys from getting hurt. And a lot of the games we played in, because we've given points late in the game, in garbage time. So part of the thing when you look at the statistics and stuff on there, you have to look at it. Are they a team that constantly blows people out? If they do, then you'll probably end up seeing a lot more passing yards against the defense, which will skew the rankings. Am I making sense? Because a lot of times you'll see a team that's a high-scoring offense that their pass defense is not ranked well, but their run-stopping defense is ranked up there high. Why? Because if a team is chasing you, trying to catch up, then they've got to score points fast. We abandon the run and pass. And so that's where you got to look at the whole picture. Okay, well, I'm over here with David. Got to pick him up. Got to stop by the store. And then we're going to be taking care of business. As always, I appreciate you guys, and I will see you later.